All right, so we're diving into a manuscript with a premise that is, well, it's pretty wild. It claims to be written by a ghost, a very famous, very fiery journalist who has a warning for all of us, straight from beyond the grave. The voice behind these words? None other than Oriana Fallaci, one of the most feared and respected journalists of the 20th century. And according to her, death wasn't an ending. Turns out, it was just the start of a brand new assignment. So here's the big idea. Since she passed away in 2006, Fallaci's ghost hasn't just been a spectator. Oh no, she's been inhabiting interviews. She says she can get right inside the minds of both the journalist and the person they're interviewing. She can feel their thoughts, their fears, all their little calculations. And from this impossible vantage point, she's come back with a pretty chilling diagnosis. And this is the question that's just eating at her, the one that's forced her to speak out. As she watches interview after interview, she sees that something absolutely essential, something vital for any real democracy has just vanished. And here it is, Fallaci's verdict. And wow, she does not mince words. She's arguing that the real confrontational art of the interview is dead and gone. What we have now is a hollow performance, a piece of theater that looks so real, but actually serves the complete opposite function of what it's supposed to. So, how exactly was the interview murdered? Well, Fallaci lays out 3 specific crimes, 3 murders that killed the real interview and replaced it with a zombie. Let's break down how it happened. The first killer is the journalist who acts like a tough adversary but is secretly terrified. You've seen them. They ask these tough-sounding questions, but as Fallaci watches from inside their head, she sees their mind is a million miles away, thinking about their mortgage, their career, about keeping their access. They're doing this lightning-fast calculation. How far can I push this without pushing too far? And the result is just a pantomime of accountability. It's all for show. For Fallaci, this isn't just some small compromise. It's a total betrayal of the job. She says it's like a surgeon who's afraid of blood. I mean, if you're scared of the consequences of actually confronting power, you have no business being in that room, period. Now, the next murder is a bit more subtle. It's the big shift from asking, "What did you do?" to "So, how did that feel?" Fallaci talks about watching an interview with a famous actress where the journalist was just obsessed with getting some big emotional confession, a tearful moment of vulnerability. The hunt for facts was totally replaced by a hunt for feelings, and journalism became this spectacle of intimacy that tells us absolutely nothing of substance. And finally, Fallaci argues the interview has been, well, it's been domesticated. It's not a dangerous showdown anymore, it's a predictable little ceremony. The powerful person knows the script. They know they'll get a few tough questions, they'll give a few slippery answers, and then it's over. The interview doesn't challenge them at all. It actually legitimizes them by creating this illusion that they've been held accountable. This chart just lays it all out crystal clear. On the left, you've got the real deal. The goal is truth. It makes powerful people feel fear. The journalist is an adversary, and the outcome is real accountability. And on the right, you have the zombie interview. The goal, access. The subject's feeling, comfort. The journalist is basically a partner, and the outcome is just legitimation. What a difference. And that brings us to the official definition. The zombie interview is a walking corpse. It looks alive, it sounds alive, but its real purpose, its only purpose, is to soak up any criticism and protect power that performing this ritual of accountability that has zero actual danger. But okay, this manuscript isn't just a diagnosis. It's a manual for bringing the interview back to life. Fallaci gives us an antidote, a set of principles for conducting what she calls a dangerous interview, one that can actually drag the truth into the light. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The mindset has to be absolute. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything, the interview itself, the relationship, any future access, all for the sake of getting the truth. No compromises. Okay, so here's the toolkit she lays out for us. 5 core principles. Number 1, don't need them. Number 2, weaponize silence. 3, ask the question behind the question. 4, know their fear. And 5, maybe the toughest one of all, be willing to fail. Let's just focus on that first principle for a second, because it is the foundation for everything else. Fallaci says the source of her power was simple: indifference. She didn't care if Henry Kissinger or the Ayatollah Khomeini liked her. She didn't care if they ever spoke to her again. She needed exactly one thing from them: their answers. The second you care more about the relationship than the truth, the game is over. You've already lost. This principle is all about tactics. You don't ask, did you take the bribe? Of course not. The answer is always a prepackaged no. Instead, you ask, on this specific date, when you made this decision, what information was on your desk? Walk me through your thinking. See, it forces them off their script and into the messy details, stripping away all the jargon until you're left with a simple, human choice that they have to defend. So in this last section, Fallaci's ghost turns the spotlight. It's no longer on journalists, it's directly on us, the audience. And she argues that seeing the murder is the very first step to solving it. And here's the thing, this isn't just for the professionals. This is a call for all of us to be active citizens. Fallaci insists that anyone, literally anyone, who cares about the truth can and must learn to ask better questions and demand real answers from their local school board, from their boss, from their politicians. And she leaves us with this guide, like a little bit of homework for the next time you watch a big political interview. Don't just listen to the answers. Watch how they evade the question. Ask yourself, what did the interviewer just let slide? You have to learn to spot the difference between the theater of accountability and the real thing. In short, you have to train your eyes to see the zombie. And this is the challenge she leaves us with. Once you understand the tricks, once you see the performance of the zombie interview for what it is, can you ever unsee it? Has your whole perspective on media and power been changed for good? The manuscript doesn't end with a neat little summary. It ends with a pledge. It's a call to action, not just for us to watch things differently, but to act differently, to become, in whatever small way we can, dangerous to the power that loves to hide in plain sight.